Hi guys, so we're back and today I'm going to be showing you how I prep and apply makeup for oily skin. I know you're like, she just talked about dry skin, what does she have? I didn't really start experiencing dry skin until maybe like 1 to 2 years ago. I primarily have oily skin. If someone were to ask me what my skin type is, I would say oily. I've already done all of my skincare, so I've wash my face, tone, moisturize, all that good stuff. It's very important, even if you have oily skin, to still apply moisturizer to your face. I know it seems counterproductive, but I have found the less I moisturize my face, the more oily it will tend to be. I'm applying a primer that's like sort of like a serum, so nothing that's like really silicone-y or super heavy. That's just my personal preference, but a silicone primer or a mattifying primer would work too, especially if you get really oily up here in your T-zone. Just apply a little setting powder to my face. Just bare clean face, a little primer down, and I go along the areas where my face tends to be super oily. So right here around my nose, I'll put a little bit on my forehead here. Just kind of acts as a barrier. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of foundation. I am using a matte foundation today, but I don't feel like you necessarily have to use a matte foundation. You can definitely get away with using something that's radiant, but just keep in mind you are gonna have like a bit of a shine to your face throughout the day. The thing about matte foundations and matte products in general, there's a product or an ingredient within the foundation that basically like acts as a barrier between your face and the product, and that's what keeps it matte and keeps it dry. I did used to work for like a pretty large beauty conglomerate, so I know a lot of really weird facts about makeup. I'm still going to be using my Etna concealer. This is like my go-to shade. And these concealers are really creamy, but I have never had an issue with them like slip sliding all over my face, how some concealers can be that are like a creamy product. And I just like to blend that out with a sponge, preferably a damp sponge. I know you might think don't add any extra water or moisture to the face, but I don't think that is really the right way to go about it. I feel like I mentioned before, the drier my skin is, the more my skin will try to produce oils to compensate for that. So I'm just gonna set everything in place using the setting powder. Anywhere that I apply that concealer, which is typically in my T-zone, is where I apply it. And I love to just carry this around with me during the day. Whether my skin is feeling oily or not, I usually have one of these floating around in my bag if I'm going out. When I was going out, I'm going to apply a little bit of a powder bronzer, just right along my cheekbones. And I like to use this tapping method to really just like push the product into the skin versus swirling it. And there we go. That's my base for when I have oily skin. So as you can see, like I'm not super oily, but I'm not totally matted out either. It's just a look I go for. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully I will see you next time.